God damn.
Cube mates. So you mentioned Block at the top of the show, and I thought he was going to turn into an ally, but we haven't heard him since.
Nah, he was gone pretty quick. He moved to a different cell because there's 3 of us in there, and 2 is the standard. So he went somewhere where he'd be doubled up. Then Greg came in. Greg's a 50-year-old black guy who's the most annoying motherfucker on the planet as far as I'm concerned. Real nice guy. Not only does the man talks to himself, he eats all day long, and he puts the most disgusting stuff. He's a black guy. He puts the most disgusting hair treatment in his hair that I've ever known to man. It's a mixture of kerosene and those big fat permanent markers that could get you high if you sniffed them.
Okay.
It's that. He's rubbing a gel that smells like that in his hair. It's so strong that I'll be covered up like a blanket over my head, sleeping in the middle of the day, and I'll go, wake me out of my sleep.
Smelling salts.
I don't even have to look. I know that Greg is on the other side of that blanket, putting his daily 4 times a day. He put it in. I counted. Plenty of time. 4 times a day.
Yeah.
4 times a day. He puts his hair treatment in, and he talks to himself about everything. All right. About to start this Monday morning. Yes, sirree. Start another day, Sally. You call your cellmates Sellies.
Okay.
So he's talking to me, but not really talking to me. I found out quickly that he doesn't expect a response from me. Just maybe a nod or an acknowledgement or a smile. Yeah, Sally. My Sally about to get on up out of here. About to get on up out. Get to the house.
He's dictating your life too.
Yeah.
My Sally feeling a little constipated. I can tell.
I saw you eating them prunes. Eat a few of them. You gonna poop it out. It's like I got Bill Cosby sitting right next to me 24 hours a fucking day.
I can't follow your roommate situation. So you moved in, you were the third. Snow leaves. Greg moves in.
Block
leaves.
leaves.
Snow was never his roommate.
I made a mistake. And Block leaves. Greg moves in. You're back to 3.
Back to 3.
Okay, well, I am keeping up.
Then David leaves, and then it's just me and Greg.
Lucky
David
you.
had enough of Greg.
So
I asked David, I was like, hey, man, why'd you move? He's like, man, I couldn't take much more of him. He was like, how do you stand it? I was like, I didn't know I had an option. Can I just leave?
Cell changes?
Could you leave, or when it was down to 2, you can't leave anymore?
I think I could have left, but that would have been pretty obvious why I was leaving, right? I didn't want to be rude to Greg. And Greg's
gonna walk over to your new son and be like, my former Sally about to catch an ass whooping.
Getting the lock
realize
in
he
the
grievously underestimated Greg.
The
now my
shiv's in
Sally's
the public
nosebleeding.
area.
Sally gonna wish he hadn't fucked Greg.
How's my hair smell now?
Just so annoying. Nice guy. But
it's so funny that someone
annoying.
that's just annoying as fuck is in prison too, and the same rules apply. Where it's like, God, this guy, bless his heart, but he fucking sucks.
Yeah, he sucked so much. Nobody liked him. Everybody. Snow called him kerosene because he thought he smelled like kerosene. But Snow can't pronounce kerosene, so it sounded more like cherosene. Snow. When Snow said shank, like a shank you'd stab somebody with, he said chank. Yeah, they come at me with a chank. He come in with chank in the kitchen. I was gonna box him. I said, I don't need no blade, Holmes. I got these bows to cut you up. And I'm like, all right, man. Sounds good. Snow's also
going for a run.
This is during the run. During the run, he would tell me crime stories. He would tell me all his criminal history, even that the federal government didn't know about. He told me all. First of all, man's 48 years old. He has a son 2 years older than me. 2 years older than me. I'll save you the math. He was 13 and a half.
Thank you. It was incalculable over here.
Had his first son when he was 13, and he married that girl. But he kept some bitches on the side. You got to. And he's just telling me all of his exploits, both criminal, personal, family life. Talking about the time they drove by, shot him, and we stopped, and he shows me the bullet wounds. Talking about this time they stabbed him in medium security, and he shows me this stab wound that looks like Frankenstein fucking stitched it up.
God damn.
All this crazy shit. Talking about all the fights he's gotten into. He almost got into 3 fights while I was there, but people would back down when he came after him. Like they would apologize and like put their hands up. He was just that
big from his pull-up regimen.
I mean, he was just down to fight, and if you get in a fight in there, you're in trouble. And what did he say? You got to represent. That's what he'd say. I was like, man, you're about to get out. You got to keep your head down. He's like, got to represent. And I was like, who are you representing? The family. And I'm like,
Oh, you said he was part of
oh.
a Mexican crime family.
He's part of a Mexican crime family. They tried to charge him for an extra blanket in the commissary, or not the commissary, the laundry. He said, yo, you trying to tax the family? Do I need to let my people know? And he was like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, you better ask around. I'll be back for my blanket. He came back. I saw him an hour later with a blanket. He's like, you want a blanket? I'll get you one too. I'm like, I don't want to be involved with the family. I don't need a blanket at all. You can have mine if that's what it takes, but don't involve me with your blanket crime family nonsense, man.